Hey, Storm Freaks, it's Phil. The sequel Twisters is coming next year, and we've got the owner of the Twister Movie Museum, Richard Gross. He's with us actually live from Wakita. And of course, we've got some hurricane, #WeatherFools, and of course, another installment of Weather Trollbot 5000. It's all on Stormfront Freaks Live!
What?
Going green. Greenwich. Saddling up.
You got it, boss.
Hey, welcome to the most entertaining weather show. This is the award-winning Stormfront Freaks Live. Thanks to all our Patreon teammates that are scrolling across the bottom of the screen that help support the show. You can also join our team as well as get access to interact on our exclusive Facebook group. We've got our co-hosts. We've got over 50 of our past guests on there as well. I've also got a number of tiers, including some with some exclusive merchandise. But you can help support our show for as little as $5 a month, and you can find out more and get those details at stormfrontfreaks.com. It's always happy hour when we record. Someone's drinking something usually all the time. But this is always a great way for us to introduce our co-hosts, the ones that are joining us tonight, find out what they're drinking, so you know we like to have a little fun here. Who do we got, Greg? I'm going to go to you, our storm chaser and photographer up in Canada. What are you drinking?
Well, I'm drinking Canadian whiskey, of course, as usual. Canadian whiskey, and I got Coke in there. But, Phil, what the hell does Greg sits on a throne of lies? What the hell does that mean on your?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What the hell is that about? What's going on?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't see anything.
For those of you listening to the audio version of this, Phil's name on the screen says Phil Johnson. Greg sits on a throne of lies. So, Phil, what's going on with that?
I don't know if I would just encourage you to listen to the last show. All right, then we got Dina Knightley. Dina's down in Atlanta. She's our meteorologist over at the Weather Channel Digital. What are you drinking, Dina?
I'm drinking just white wine, but I'm drinking out of my old Continental Airlines.
Wow.
Classic.
Blast from the past.
That's when I started. When I worked for the airlines, it was still the red meatball.
Wow. Did you Pan Am? Were they still in business then too? Or
I don't think so. I started like in
I don't know when they
90,
stopped.
like January of 90.
Okay.
I was still a teenager.
Continental.
Uh-huh.
Outstanding. Okay. Greg, I'll turn it over to you, Greg. Who do we got here tonight?
Oh my God, I'm so excited about this. I have been to the Twister Museum, I don't even know how many times, but listen, we've got Richard Gross with us, and Richard began his career chasing supercells and other extreme weather throughout the Midwest and Ohio Valley regions, and witnessed his first tornado on June 2nd, 1990 in a suburb of, Phil, Cincinnati. And he was just 9 years old. But since then, he has intercepted tornadoes across 13 states, including the Great Plains and the Deep South, and now runs Severe Weather Country Expedition Storm Tours, SWC, with his wife, Mandy. And listen, gang, he is the owner of the Twister Museum in Wakita, Oklahoma, like the Wakita, Oklahoma, and it was purchased by Richard and his wife in April of 2022. Now, listen, Richard, I've been there, like I said, I don't even know how many times. First question is the Tornado Hunters shirt still hanging on the wall in the upper, the southeast corner of the building?
Wow, he's putting you on the spot like right away. Welcome to the show.
It is.
Awesome.
Wow.
Quite beautifully, yes.
Well, listen, we're all excited about this show and about having you on because, with the new movie coming out, there's going to be a lot more attention brought on to you guys and the whole, history of the movie Twister and storm chasing. You've been doing this for a long time. How did the actual movie impact your journey in storm chasing? And is it like sometimes surreal to sit back and think you're owning this museum now?
Honestly, yes, that's great questions. It is surreal. It is, and daily it just hits me, that, a movie that came out when I was 15 years old, impacted me so greatly that I would, one, make a career out of some of the content in the movie, but not only that, but just to have been a part of the storm chasing community at large for all of these years, for the last 27 years since Twister came out, and to be able to be here and celebrate all of those years with like-minded people and chasers and super fans, as we call them here at the museum. It's just extraordinary to be a part of.
It must be pretty cool when you've got a tour group. You pick them up in Oklahoma City. They've flown in from. You've probably had people from all over the world show up, right? And and probably it's a down day. You know you're gonna have blue skies all day, and it's like, come on over to my place. Well, I'll show you Dorothy. I'll show you the Twister pinball machine. That's got to be kind of a cool experience for them.
Honestly, yes. While most storm tour groups do stop by the museum as kind of part of the whole tradition, we do have kind of that capability to kind of come here. We've done our weather presentations here. We've watched the movie here.
Oh man,
nice.
And things like that. Yes.
I'm looking for an invite. I'm looking for an invite on that one, Richard.
Yeah, we'll be over.
Yes.
Well, first off, too, what's your favorite part of the movie?
It's great.
What's your favorite part of the movie, Richard?
Honestly, so my favorite, well, I have the whole movie, but I would say my favorite part is I have a soft spot for Dorothy 1. Just from the very first time I saw the machine in real life, it was just like a kid in a candy store. And I'm just like, there's no way that I'm seeing this right now, And I would say it's probably the first tornado intercept. I think that's real life. I think that could happen to someone. I think that has happened to people in the storm environment. Where they've had to just find any and all, or any recluse whatsoever to try to survive some of the violent tornadoes that we've been accustomed to hearing about, seeing, and surveying as well over the years.
How much impact would you say the movie has had on the guests? Like, how many guests wouldn't even be thinking about coming storm chasing on one of your tours if they hadn't seen the movie?
Yeah, I think that's a contributor. I think the movie contributed not only to, storm chasing tourism, as there's actually several of us out here, great groups, great folks that just absolutely are safe and, always doing the right things, making the right calls. But I think it's so much deeper than that, in that we found that the movie, hadn't just impacted people that were kind of adrenaline based, or it was really all encompassing, anywhere from increased enrollment rates at universities that excel in meteorology, to the Storm Tracker Network, to an increase in ham radio operators. It was so all encompassing when Twister came out that I was privileged to be able to witness all of the changes that really started rapidly occurring after the release, especially when it comes to weather research and tornado research. And Tim Samaras and Paul and Carl Young, those guys are a testament of where we were headed and are headed, in terms of increasing our lead times, increasing the ability to know where the bigger tornadoes are going to occur, the more violent tornadoes, so we can get that information out just even a little bit quicker makes a difference.
So, Richard, tell me about your tourism, your SWC Expedition Storm Tours. I looked at your website and you're booked up already. I think for 2024, it looked like you were booked up. So how early does somebody need to book if they want to come with you?
Yeah, so that's a good question, and I think all of the companies that do this out here all kind of work the same way in regards to the bookings and things like that. We only take 36 people per season, but in that, most of the tours are booked, 6 to 12 months in advance. About 30% of our guest load is international, and that ranges over about 15 to 17 countries. Worldwide, and then the other 70% come from here in the United States, and some of those folks come back year after year, as we have about a 30% return guest rate as well. So it's really like building a small community of people that are like-minded. They enjoy the to be able to come out and just take a different kind of vacation, one that's not the beach or the mountains. This way they can see small town America. They can see Mother Nature in just ways that you just can't see him or her at home.
What was the process, Richard, deciding that you wanted to take your passion for chasing and that you wanted to take it to the next level and actually start a tour company? Because that's certainly not easy. I'd have to imagine your insurance bills are a little high on that. But there's a big process in that. So I guess why did you decide to do that, and what was the pains going through the process?
So that's a great question, because I think for all of us it's different. Extreme tornado tours, tornadic expeditions, tempest tours. I think we all kind of have our own unique story, and Mandy and I. We had already been accustomed to taking people out with us just privately, just not for hire, where we would take friends, we would take family members, things like that. And then, you got the general sense that when we would do that and when we would talk about it, that there was a fairly sizable demand for people that, were really wanting to go out and see Mother Nature with people that can do it safely and with people that have the right technologies and the right information. But it wasn't really until I started looking around at the business as it was at that time, and it largely seemed that there just simply still weren't enough companies to take the amount of people that wanted to go. And with the Twisters movie release, we think that may even propel the storm chasing tourism model even further than what we've seen in the last 20 years. But I think it's impactful. Tornadoes, we've even found that tornado outbreaks are impactful to to people, that their interest level. If there's a tornado outbreak in Indiana, we get someone that books from Indiana a week later. It's kind of a relevance thing with the weather things are going.
So have you had any struggles? Because you, Norm, Mandy are meteorologists, correct?
Correct.
So I'm just curious, because I'm not either.
Me neither.
Yeah. So what are have you faced some challenges or naysayers or anything with the fact that, hey, you're running a tour company? I think you've got a meteorologist on your team, but for you and Mandy to say, hey, we're going to do this, I guess did you have any challenges or naysayers in that process?
Honestly, no. We really had no issues from that regard, largely because people know me by name from decades ago, whereas we had storm chasing teams that were sponsored by TV meteorologists in the Cincinnati area back in the early 2000s. So, this has been a lifelong journey for not only myself, and maybe not quite as long for Mandy as far as the storm chasing end of things, although she's been a fan of the movie since its release in '96. And speaking on behalf of Mandy, it was really her ability to go out and be be a good photographer in the early years, but but B, her guest relations are just top notch, and her navigation skills are just unbelievable, you know, and it's that what you need, you know, almost more importantly than the driver of the storm chasing tour group, just in that the navigator is handling just so much information in very short periods of time. So kudos to her for her role with not only the expeditions but here at the museum, as she's been part of quite of a resurgence of bringing folks here and having a good social media presence. And we have our big event coming up on September 23rd, where we're unveiling our new tornado simulator here at the museum.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Oh, tell us about that.
Yeah, no kidding.
So we've installed it's a tornado simulator or a hurricane simulator where the winds actually go up to 78 miles per hour. There's voice activation where it's, you know, yelling at you, the winds are roaring. It's very entertaining for the kids and the teens, and even some of us adults, we can find a way to enjoy it. But furthermore, we're going to have replica vehicles here. We're going to have one of the screen-used Jeeps from Twister here. We've got Dorothy 1, of course, and we're going to have a lot of other festivities throughout the day. So anyone within 5, 6, maybe upwards of 10 hours, come out. It's on a Saturday all day long. And it is called Enter the Suck Zone. And we're going to have new T-shirts that have,
Make sure you clarify that.
Yeah,
little homage to Philip Seymour Hoffman there.
Yes, and that's what we're celebrating this year, is his role in Twister. And the shirt that we have for this year's celebration actually has the barn burner on it for the very first time. So it's going to be a pretty hot commodity this year.
So Richard, listen, you mentioned 96, right? It's hard to believe. Phil and I, and while Dina was involved at least in one of them, we did our storm chase or Twister drinking game, right? Where you have all the different things that you do when they do dumb stuff on the show. But how many times have you tipped a shot glass watching the movie Twister over the years? 30 years, man. That's crazy.
It really is. And, I've probably seen it. I can't even tell you how many times. It's just ridiculous how many times, 300-400 at least. And I didn't watch it all the way through those times, but it was on. We play it, on the way to chase targets. We play Supercell. We play Into the Storm. It's just. It's
Name
really
your favorite Van Halen song. Quick. Favorite Van Halen song.
Humans Being. It's actually Respect the Wind, though. But it's actually for me, it's Respect the Wind. Yes.
Right. Got
it. But
it.
Humans Being is number 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
So where do you live? I want to know where you live. Like, where do you guys live, and how are you able to keep the store? Like, are both you and Mandy doing the store? Who's doing the store, and how long does it take you to get there? Because you don't live in Wakita, correct?
That is correct. So Mandy and I, so we've lived in Oklahoma a couple different times. As you know, storm chasing brings you to the best action as usual anyway. But we actually have been living back here in Oklahoma for the last couple of years, working here at the museum and being able to do so many amazing things with the museum. But we live about 20 minutes outside of Wakita in rural Grant County. And only takes us about 20 minutes to get here. And, we're open 4 hours a day, April through August, Tuesday through Saturday. And then we do off-season appointments, September through March, where when people are knowing they're going to be coming through, because we are so far out here, people will call and schedule appointments for tours, and then we will meet them up at those prescribed times.
Richard, in our intro, we said you got the museum in 2022. So you haven't had it that long.
Correct.
Like, how did you come to the opportunity of getting this museum?
So it was part and parcel that I had been here at least 50 times, maybe 40 times to be realistic. But, as being a storm chasing tour operator, one of my weekly chores is to stop by the museum and support the cause, right? And also be able to kind of showboat to the guests that, there's this wonderful place, which is half the reason you're even here, that you should see. And then when we bring them here, it's just, there's just nothing that really parallels that besides going out and getting them tornadoes and being within safe distance and stuff. But, it's just, it's really fun to be working here. And what ended up happening is Miss Linda Wade, she actually ran this museum, owned and operated it privately for the first 26 years of its existence. Yes, and Miss Linda just is the absolute most wonderful woman you'll ever meet. And, even though she didn't really necessarily have an interest in storms or anything like that, it was her and her husband who owned the building that the museum stands in now. And they actually let the movie studios use this building as part of the movie making process back in the summer of 1995 when Twister was filmed here. And
so
Wow.
listen, you can't answer Dorothy, okay? You are not allowed to say Dorothy. That's off the table. Next, favorite memento or trinket or just thing in the museum that you think, my God, I can't believe I own this.
So obviously, Dorothy, but Bill Paxton's football for me. Bill Paxton's football.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Very cool.
That is insane. Yeah.
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 I'll say this. I want to let you know, Richard, I just today got in the mail. I don't have it with me, but what's his first name? Carrie Elwes? Is that his name?
Carrie Elwes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A signed Twister trading card of his that I just got. And I've got another one coming from Aunt Meg. What's her name? Lois or Lori?
Yeah, Lois Smith. Yes.
Lois Smith. So she signed a Twister trading card too that I've got coming. We'll have that be a giveaway sometime. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That would be great.
What do you got there, Greg?
Bill's football. Oh.
Yeah, tell us about the football.
So during the summer of 95, when they were filming over at Aunt Meg's house, Bill Paxton would actually throw this football with folks here in town at the corner of Elm and Apache Streets right here in Wakita. And would you know that he held on to the ball at his private residence in California for 14 years after filming Wrapped here?
No kidding.
Then donated it to the museum in 2010.
Wow.
That is pretty cool. Wow. So
Nice.
that wasn't something that someone just got a hold of right away after filming.
No.
He had held on to that for a while.
And,
cool.
And if you watch the movie closely enough, you will see that this same very football in the movie.
Nice.
I remember the scene because it's out in front of Aunt Meg's house, right? That they're tossing the ball.
That is correct.
That's it. Well, I'll tell you what, everybody. We're talking Twisters, but we also know both the West and the East Coast. They've gotten their first hit from tropical storms. So don't let the next one catch you off guard. So go to windstormproducts.com and get your supplies right now. Our friends at Windstorm Products, they have the world's largest online selection, whether it's hurricane hardware for your home or your business. You can check them out. They've also got a great selection of flood prevention products. They've got some really neat tools. So plan now and shop windstormproducts.com for your hurricane hardware and shutter installation tools. So tell you what, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back with more from Richard and Talking Twisters.
Going in.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy, the chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
All right, so we are back. We've got Richard Gross is the owner of the Twister Movie Museum. Richard, so we've talked a little bit about Twisters, the sequel that's scheduled to come out next year, with this actors strike and writers strike going on right now. Who knows if we'll stick to that schedule. But one thing I do know, and I don't know if you knew this, because I did meet you and your wife at the National Storm Chaser Summit this past year. Did you know that there was someone from the Twisters movie that was actually at that event, but just didn't want it known at the time?
Really?
Yeah. Okay. So you didn't know that. There was. So there's actually someone that came in and they asked not to, for not to say anything or whatever, but there was someone from the movie. So I want to know this: what do you know about the movie, or any details about it that you've read about that you can share for people?
So yeah, we do know of just a few odds and ends, nothing more specific than that. I think a lot of us were largely surprised when we found out that they had about 13 Oklahoma towns, laid out as far as doing scenes. I think a lot of us thought if they were to do another Twister movie, that, a lot of it may be done in California or in studios in New York or whatever have you. And then we learned that they were coming back to Oklahoma. And, I think that gave a lot of us a sense that, they're going to try to bring this movie back to its roots, at least in some form or fashion. We do know, Glenn Powell is the lead male role. What we do know about Glenn is that he's pretty geared up was pretty geared up for the movie. And I think he still is, as far as getting that done when everything gets resolved. But from what we've heard and what we've seen, they're going to be doing some things from the first movie to kind of help out throughout the second movie. So we're pretty excited here. I know a lot of the super fans were a little bit discouraged at first. But, I think if you read enough and you think about it, the same three studios are doing the Twisters movie that did Twister. I believe that, they'll do a pretty good job with it.
It makes me wonder, are they going out to Oklahoma during severe weather season, or are they going out there to get the background and then add in the storms to keep the actors safe, of course, too?
Yeah, so I'll say this about Oklahoma this year while they were filming. It just wasn't ideal for storms. Our chase season, we put in about 19,000 miles and chased just about everywhere but Oklahoma.
Really?
So it was probably largely difficult for them to get stuff nearby. But I think it is, kind of more of a combination of just wanting to get a lot of this done with the Oklahoma landscape. And then through post-production, they'll be able to kind of wrap everything else up, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They did. I had heard, or I had seen, they actually put out a request for storm chasers that had vehicles or storm chasing type vehicles. They were actually going to pay as extras to be in the film, I think in May. Was when they were doing a lot of the shooting, May of this year of 2023. So
How
I saw
did we
that.
not get in on that, Phil?
Because
Well, I think we-
like
I think we-
$100
yeah.
a week or something. It really wasn't.
Yeah, Dean, I remember
good.
we had a discussion on one of the shows. I don't know if you were on it, but it was like they were like wanting you to give up your day of chasing on the plains in May
$100?
for $100. It was like,
$100. And
if
it
you
was
got to
like
be in the
12
movie,
hours or something. It like
would've
all
been
day,
kinda
12
cool.
hours. Yeah, well, for
That
$100
would've been
bucks.
cool.
Well, Dina, when you've done as much film and television as I have, $100 a day, it's no big deal.
It's no biggie.
So I also heard this, and this could be a rumor, Richard. I don't know what you've heard, but that that at one point, Helen Hunt had actually put in a proposal or a drafted script for a Twister sequel that wasn't that the studio didn't accept, and then that now the story. So the actors that I've seen that are in the film, a lot of them are just not ones that I'm really familiar with, which is fine. That doesn't matter. But one of them apparently, the story might center around is the daughter of
Correct.
Bill and Helen's character, right? That was maybe that has something to do with it. But this is your key, right? Is that it has something to do with tours. It brings in the tour aspect of the chasing industry, so that might really be up your alley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really does. That's going to be fruitful in one sense, but also kind of concerning in another sense because one of the more recent, really starting about 15 years ago, so not quite recent, but it has been happening each year, is that the storm chaser convergence and the amount of folks that are out on the road, whether it be just chasers at large or actual citizens who are coming out to try to see tornadoes as well. When you couple that with law enforcement, emergency management, and other rescue personnel that are out on the roads, plus your normal commerce transportation, it's getting to the point that, like, on moderate and high risk days, there's just too many people out on the roads. And so while it's fruitful for the storm chasing tour operators and folks that want to come out and see the stuff, I think it's going to be about maybe even increasing safety measures even just a little bit more as we go forward, because we'll have to combat that issue. Mangum, Oklahoma, 2019, and there's been some other issues. El Reno, 2013. There were storm chaser convergence zones that led to problems.
Richard, you got to come up to the northern plains, a little South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota chasing. Boy, there's no chaser convergence up here. It's awesome.
It is. It really is. We actually have that luxury on our last tours of the year. Our Majestic Mammatus tour and our Violent Vortex tour always take us up into like Wyoming, Northeast Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota, Southern Minnesota, and even parts of Iowa. We love those areas. It's very peaceful. It's very quiet, and it's just you and the storm up there.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Tell us a little bit. I want to know about Cincinnati. So I live in Cincinnati, Richard. Is that tornado that that's your first tornado that you saw, right? Was in the Cincinnati area. Was that the one that kind of went near Montgomery?
That one was actually April 9th, 1999, in Blue Ash, Ohio. Okay. It was an F4. But the one on June 2nd, 1990 actually started in Dearborn County, Indiana. Yep. And then it really touched down and became violent at Harrison, Ohio, and West Harrison. And then it became an F4 as it traversed the Westchester area. So just, just north of Cincinnati by about 12 to 13 miles.
Yeah. So is that, where did you see it, or was this something you were involved in?
So I lived in Sharonville, Ohio. I went to school there. I went to Sharonville Elementary. Went to Princeton High School in that area. And living in Sharonville, that's the town just to the south of Westchester, and just to the south and southeast. And where I lived, I could see the northern sky. I could see parts of Westchester from where I lived. And and this tornado came through at night, so it was about 45 minutes after dark, maybe 35 minutes, and the storm was coming in from the west southwest, and all I saw was just a dark wedge in the lightning strikes and somewhat of the lights from the city. where you could see just this titanic wedge coming across the East Fairfield going into Westchester, Ohio. And then my dad took me out the next day to Tylersville Road, which had been decimated by that tornado.
Yeah.
And being 9 years old, that's a pretty impactful event to see.
Yeah, that's crazy. There, and there's kind of a little hill between Sharonville and Blue Ash that you can get up a little bit higher and see a much broader view of that western horizon too. So that's kind of right in that area.
Listen,
I
Richard,
lived on that hill in Sharonville.
Oh, no kidding!
Yeah.
Really? Okay, there you go. You had a good view.
Yeah.
On the wall behind you, Richard, there's a couple classic marketing photos from the movie. Right, these are some of the iconic ones. Who would you say you identify most with, Bill or Joe?
I would say Bill.
Of course you do. Of course you would. Of course you would. Right? You're gonna drop a little sand out of the palm of your hand and watch the wind.
I do. It's bad. I do it. It's the guest. I just do it to mess with them. It's just something we do. And
have you ever had a fist fight with Have you ever had a fist fight with another chaser? Even just like a setup, just to the Jonas and Bill thing going on.
Almost. We'll just put it that way. Almost. But never have I had to do what Bill did.
Nice.
But it's all good nowadays. So, yep.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Dina, you got another question?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. We mentioned this earlier, Richard, and Greg said we do have a drinking game, Twister drinking game. Mm-hmm. So if you want access to that, just let me know. We'll hook you up with the Stormfront Freaks Twister drinking game.
And if I remember correctly, Phil, we didn't watch the end of the movie because we had so much to drink.
We were definitely under the table, I think, on that one. So, well, tell you what. Hey, that was the sound. If you heard that, it's time for our lightning round. So this is our game show of flashy and brilliant questions. We get to play with our guests, and you live on a throne of lies, Greg. Live on a throne of lies. But tonight, so you're going to like this one, Richard, what we're going to play. I think everyone's going to like this, so you can play along at home as well. But we're going to call this one Name That Tornado Movie.
Excellent.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some short video clips, and then I'm going to give you a multiple choice, Richard, of names of potential movies of what you just saw, and then you just have to tell me which one you think it was. Greg and Dina, they're allowed to kind of help you out if they want to give you some advice.
Oh, it's multiple choice too.
They can do that.
A little better.
Yeah, so it is going to be multiple choice.
Sharknado 7, that's my answer for everything.
So
that might be where I struggle on the Sharknadoes, but
so here's the first, Richard, here's the first clip.
You're gonna tell the people what's really going on?
We're gonna tell them what they need to know to survive.
The storm's increasing in strength.
Jeff Fahey, Kari Wurer.
Let's go.
Oh, wow.
All right, so you just saw that clip. So here is your multiple choice. Was that movie titled Alien Tornado, Storm Cover-Up, or E.T. Extraterrestrial Twisters?
That third one is...
What do you think?
I'm going to go with A.
Alien Tornado?
What was B?
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay.
Good job. All right, you're on a roll.
I don't think I saw Alien Tornado.
Yeah, I must have missed that one in the theaters.
I'm not saying you have
Just
to go
that
watch
first,
these.
That's weird.
All right, here's the next clip. Okay, classic.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
a classic.
my god.
So was that clip called "Exploding Twisters," "Fire NATO," or "Beavis and Butthead Light a Fart"? What do you think?
Wow.
I
Fire
don't know.
NATO.
I'm gonna go with that too.
I'm gonna go too.
Yeah.
That's it. Fire
That
NATO.
looked. That one really looked terrible. Like terrible.
That one
like,
almost
it
was
looked like,
supernatural because it was chasing them.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
next clip.
not good.
Next.
We got a twister!
Government's been trying to control the weather for years.
No, this doesn't look like control. This looks more like out of control.
Wow.
Yeah, it's out of control.
It is out of
I'll chime in on that one. Okay, so here's your multiple choice, Richard. Was that Ice Twisters, Time Twister, or the next day after the day after tomorrow?
Phil has fun making these up, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the A answer.
Ice Twisters.
What was that called again?
Ice Twisters. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ice Twisters. Yes.
That was correct. That was
Wow.
Ice Twisters.
At some point, like Frozen something.
Wow, the Twister Museum guy's on a roll.
He is.
All right,
I've seen a lot of those.
Oh no! Oh my God. Okay, next clip.
When a mysterious storm hits the city of Boston,
Check this out.
Meteorite?
You're the scientist. You tell me.
it brings two old friends back together.
Guys, come on. You know me. I'm pressed.
You're a weatherman.
All right, you're a weatherman. All right, so that clip, Richard, was that from Meteor Storm, Stone NATOs, or Sputnik Falling?
I'm gonna go with the classic answer of A again.
Meteor Storm.
Yes.
Wow, Stone NATOs?
Stone NATO.
That was Stone NATOs.
Never
Never
even
even heard
of it.
seen a preview for that one.
Check it out. Looked pretty good.
Out of curiosity, Phil, where the hell did you find these clips?
Yeah, no kidding.
You can find
find.
everything on YouTube. Find everything on YouTube. All right, last one, last clip. Here we go.
Jim, you've got to get down from there.
Nature's fury took her husband.
Jim, do you read me?
Now, she won't stop
We have 7. I repeat, 7 tornadoes.
until she finds out why.
Get back in the car. Hey, you got a death wish or something?
Kelly McGillis, Walt Larson, Adrian Zamanda.
It's gonna turn around. Hold on.
Whoa.
Now that's a classic right there. So that one is titled Storm Chasers Revenge of the Twister, or was it The Storm That Stole My Husband, or Top Gun Maverick Dumped Me? What are you going with on that one?
A, of course. Storm Chasers.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd go with A.
Revenge, yeah.
Yeah.
Storm Chasers Revenge of the Twister.
Oh,
And you would be correct.
Richard, you were so
Good.
close, so close to getting a perfect score.
Yeah.
I know, but I missed one. Oh,
Yeah.
Just
missed
missed
one.
one. You missed Stone NATOs.
Twister.
You better go check out Stone NATOs. You seem to have watched the other ones, so
I'll tell you this, the one that should have made that list was Night of the Twisters. That's actually a pretty good one.
Ooh.
I've actually heard that is good. I've heard that.
It
I
is.
agree. You're not the only one telling me that. I haven't seen it, but I've
Wasn't
heard
there
good things.
one that hit like a nuclear power plant and it was like a nuclear
Yeah, it was like
NATO?
Nuclear Twister or something like
Something.
that. Oh
I
yeah.
do like I was
or something, or
something.
Yeah, that's an.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. That's another lightning round we're going to be able to bring back multiple times because there are
That's a
lots
good
of
one.
those out there.
And Phil, I got to give you full credit for not throwing a Sharknado in there. Like I really
Yeah,
was
really.
expecting.
Too easy.
Yeah, I was expecting
Twister.
this
Too
you.
easy.
Yeah.
That's softball stuff. So, Richard, so do this. Let everybody know where they can learn more about the Twister Movie Museum, where they can find out more information about your storm tours, and where else people can find or follow you.
Okay, so first, if y'all want to go to the Twister Museum store at twistermuseumstore.com, you can see all of our fun merch that we have. Some of that you see behind us. We have fun shirts and keychains and Dorothy sensors.
Nice.
TwisterMuseumStore.com. You can also go to TwisterCountry.com. And you can also give us a ring if you want to stop by in the off season. We do tours by appointment September through March, and we have our big Enter the Suck Zone event where we're unveiling our tornado simulator and celebrating Dusty's role in Twister all day long on September 23rd, right here in the streets and on the streets of Wakita. This is a yearly celebration, so make sure you put it on your bucket list to come out and see us. And one thing I didn't get a chance to mention before is that we are going to have movie props from the Twisters movie at some point in time in the future once everything gets resolved there. And otherwise, you can visit us in Wakita right on Main Street. And then as far as the tours goes, you can Google search SWC Expeditions or go to severeweathercountry.com and book a tour. Our 2025 schedule will be released in the next probably 7 to 10 days. So grab a seat and come out and chase with us in 2025.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, you better have for your Dusty celebration, and if you don't, I recommend you get them right now, some baseball helmets with straws and drinking things or attachments to your vehicles for storm chasers. That would be a great Twister Museum item. You got to get that. So, hey, we're going to take our final break.
Very cool. Yes.
Okay, yep. So we're going to take our final break. Don't forget, you can find our gear exclusively at helicity.co. So you can only get Stormfront Freaks branded merch at helicity.co, and backed by popular demand is our Only You Can Prevent #WeatherFools shirts. We also have What Are You Drinking gear. You can view all our logo branded catalog and more at helicity.co, the Weather Stooper store for the freak in you. So we'll be right back. We've got our #WeatherFools and another demonstration of Weather Trollbot 5000 coming up. Great job, Richard. That is our break. We're on break now, but
thanks, guys. That was fun.
That was good.
Great.
Yeah, you did awesome. You did outstanding. Hey, so now, I want to give Angela a chance. Angela, have you been to the Twister Museum?
Yeah, I've been twice.
Oh, yeah. Do you have any questions or thoughts
I
for
do
Richard?
actually. What's your 5-year goal for the museum? Do you see expansion with the new movie coming out?
100% yes. Mandy and myself and even Miss Linda, we've all been in talks of just, some of the different things that are coming our way. And kind of one of them was the Twisters movie, where when we bought the museum and took over operations, we just had no idea that was coming. So we were coming here to Wakita to keep this place as it was running and to be a beacon for the community and keep it here in Wakita to keep celebrating the first movie. But when the announcement for the second movie came and understanding perhaps its relevance to the first movie, we are now looking at the potential of expansion, and then having the movie props could help that happen even faster.
So how do you know you're getting movie props, but you didn't know they had someone at the National Storm Chaser Summit? Like, you've got connections, but...
Wow,
I like that. No, that's good. That's a good challenge. So the Lieutenant Governor of Oklahoma actually visited with Mandy and I at the Tonkawa Film Festival back in April of this year. And he was able to kind of notify us that as part of the agreements and things that, we would be able to get to share part of the new movie too.
That is great.
Hey, Richard, were you chasing in 2010?
I was.
Did you happen to be at Wakita on May 10th of 2010 when the tornado just missed the town?
I was not, unfortunately.
Yeah, man, I was on that one. It was pretty cool. Cool storm, multi-vortex tornado. There's some good video online about it.
I've seen videos of that. It started between here and Enid, and then it came up missed
right down
Wakita
the
to
highway.
southeast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it went right down. What's the name of number highway? In
11?
my head, I want to say 11. Yeah,
Highway 11. Yes.
yeah,
Yep.
like literally right down the highway. And there was about 4,000 chase vehicles on that highway too,
No
right behind
kidding.
it. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, jeez.
That's not surprising.
But it
Yeah,
like
in
just missed
2010.
Wakita. It just missed Wakita.
It's those days where the HRRR has one supercell and that's it, and everybody goes to that one supercell. I like the days where there's 4 or 5 of them, and it makes everybody pick the right one.
Or about 1,000 miles of storms from Minnesota all the way down to Texas. Those are good days. Yeah.
Yes.
So, Richard, can you do us a favor? Will you do a little soundbite for us and just say, "Hi, I'm Richard Gross, owner of the Twister Movie Museum, and this is the Stormfront Freaks."
Hey, I'm Richard Gross with the Twister Movie Museum in Wakita. And then I forgot the last part. Sorry.
No, that's good. That's perfect. Leave it like that.
That's
that
a good
was really
challenge.
Good.
That's a good challenge right there. No, just say, and this is the Stormfront Freaks. So we can
Stormfront Freaks.
Yes. No, you got to redo the whole
you want
thing.
Me to start all the way over? Okay. All right. So I'm Richard Gross with the Twister Movie Museum, and this is the Stormfront Freaks.
Perfect.
Yay.
Very good. Very good. All right. I'm just looking to see if we had any. It looks like we had some good people playing along. Valley of the Twisters. Garrett recommends Valley of the Twisters.
Atomic Twister. I heard somebody mentioned Atomic
Angela
Twister.
mentioned, the one that was going to hit the nuclear power plant.
Oh, Atomic Twister.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Atomic.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes
There's also
sense.
Category 6, Total Destruction or something. That has tornadoes in it.
Does it really?
Randy Quaid.
Oh, Randy
Randy
Quaid's he's made a career out of these disaster movies.
Shitter's
That was
full.
like Anne Heche
Yeah, I
in
was just thinking
Supercell.
Shitter's full.
Oh, she was in that one too? Like, yeah, she's
Anne Heche,
monopolizing.
yeah.
Wow.
Wow,
But
she was in a lot
She
of them.
unfortunately passed. She passed.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, so she wasn't in it.
She was in Supercell.
Oh, right. Okay.
The Supercell
Right.
movie. Yeah.
But it must
I
have
thought
been
you were
right
saying
after.
she was in Category 6 or whatever. That's what I thought.
Oh
And
no.
she was
Yeah,
in the
she was.
13 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
She was
13
also in
minutes,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. So here's what we're going to do next. So you want to stick around here for another 15 minutes or so, or do you need to go, Richard?
I'm gonna probably need to go. Yes, but thank you guys. It's
Very
been
good.
great.
Yeah.
for
So
coming.
that was great. So I will do this and just tell your wife I feel really bad that Mandy wasn't able to join us because that was the goal, and I know she had
And
some
she
family
does too.
commitments.
She
So
was just family health emergencies are not fun. So yeah, she's had to been dealing with that instead of being here doing this with me. But next time for sure. And we can
Yeah,
even
so-
talk storms next year if you want to catch us while we're out on the storm chasing tours. Just get with us, and we'd be
Yeah.
glad to see what's happening.
yeah, good. So
Great.
thank you. But yeah, tell her we wish her well and sorry we missed her. But we
Certainly.
will also this YouTube link of the video. You're welcome. You can share that. But we will also be posting the edited audio podcast. Probably Sunday is usually when that goes up and all
Okay.
that. So again, appreciate the time. That was a lot of fun, Richard. So thank you.
Maybe we'll see
Yes,
you out there.
it's been great, guys.
Next time.
See you in
All right.
2024.
Yes, it's been a pleasure. Y'all take care.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Signing off from Wakita.
All right. So next up, Weather Fools. Greg, I'm going to have you introduce Weather Fools. Dina, you're going to introduce Weather Trollbot.
And what do we say about that? We've searched the dark web for.
No, we don't search the dark. Trollbots just, our weather friends that we know, that we find are getting trolled from people. And Weather Trollbot we found at a garage sale, and we've repurposed her to interpret what our weather friends were really thinking when they responded to these trolls. And now we're trying to incorporate a little AI with her as well. So,
who's got Weather Fools?
Yeah,
I sent you one, MJ.
Yep, I've got Greg's, I've got Dina's, I got 5 from Phil. What order do you want to go in?
I'll go first.
And okay, yep, that's what I've got. Actually, I've got you first, and then I've got Phil's 5, and then Dina. How's that sound?
That sounds perfect.
And none of them, just so you know, none of them are from me. These are all listener and viewer weather fools.
Okay, good, cool.
So I'm like now having to put mine on the back burner because I we've got all these other great ones that are coming in. So that's good. All right, so we'll do that. We're episode 191, show notes at stormfrontfreaks.com. And remember, so when we come in, MJ's going to play Drive Under the Moon video, and then he's going to go to the hashtag WeatherFools video. MJ, you got that right? Just boom, boom. You're muted, so I can't hear you, but I'm sure I know what you're saying.
Yes, I've got it. I'm on top of it. But there's always one interesting thing. There's always a little flash of everybody in between the two, and there's no way I can make that go away.
Smile.
I tried.
So just smile.
So, oh my God! Now that I know that.
Yeah, I know.
So was there an intro video or anything to Weather Trollbot?
Yes, there is.
Yeah. So just so remember to unmute yourself. Because when the little intro video, like when the Weather Fools intro video plays, it's going to mute everybody. So, Greg, just make sure you unmute yourself.
Yeah.
So you have a smooth transition coming in. Dina, same thing with you. Weather Trollbot video, just unmute yourself so that as you see the line at the bottom, getting to the end that the video is about done, you can kind of come in and transition a little easier. As opposed to hard
for Garrett, I know he's not with us live tonight, but he is watching. Garrett, if you can send me a message, if you can find somewhere that has a link to Night of the Twisters, I would love to watch it after everyone's talking about it. But if anybody knows where someone you can watch it, send me the link. I'd like to watch that, maybe even tonight. I miss Garrett, by the way.
And then, then Weather Trollbot, I've got a couple of those, so I'll play those. It's just audio only. And then MJ will play the Freak Fanbox video. I've got a couple Freak Fanbox entries, and then we will close it up.
Okay.
Everybody good?
Sounds good.
Because I'm just going to say, hey, Phil, who did Weather Trollbot pick?
Yeah. You could just say, hey, what'd you obviously introduce it and then just say, hey, what'd you find? And
okay.
Yep, that's good. All right.
Let's see. Greg's coming in first on, so put him there.
I think if I have to do anything here, MJ.
Okay. Are you ready? Everybody, yes, Phil?
Ready.
Ready? Okay. So I will disappear and I will start the rest of the show.
Hey, I'm Tom Nizzle, winter weather expert at the Weather Channel, and you're listening to Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Let's take a drive under the moon. Let's take a drive under the somber sky. Let's take a drive under the moon.
Well, we know what that sound means. It means it's time for hashtag WeatherFools. And we've got a bunch for you today. I know, Phil, you've got some that were sent in by viewers and listeners, and Dina's got one. I'm going to start tonight's WeatherFools category with, this is very topical. This is from Hurricane Idalia. Now, okay, that's a car.
Oh my gosh.
Literally, this is on the highway. This is in Florida. and watch it here. It's an SUV beside him, and oh my God, it picks it up and it tosses it. Now, obviously, obviously the obvious weather fool here is everybody who's out driving in Category 3 hurricane landfall. Like, now, listen, this is a video from a storm chaser. Obviously, you know, they're probably got doing all the right stuff, but for the average person at being out on, I mean, looks like there's a lot of vehicles out there. I mean, it's just not a smart idea. I don't care how you slice it.
There's a tornado threat. There's always a tornado
threat. Right. Like, we're talking about hurricanes, but we all know that what comes along with hurricane landfalls, the SPC always, raises the tornado threat. So this might have been some weird little, suction vortice that just popped up into one of the bands. But, take the warning seriously. Get off the road. Be safe.
Do you know that was from a chaser?
Yeah, I think it was Weingard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. You ready for mine, Gregos?
Yeah, Phil, what do you got?
All right, so this comes from Freak Fan Billy, and I call this Adalia 1 versus Storm Chaser Chad 0. So Storm Chaser Chad's obviously at Adalia, and he just gets nailed by debris right in his face. Like, right in the face. Boom!
Oh!
I hope that was cardboard and not metal.
And then he's like, yeah, no, it had to have been. It wasn't too bad. But he said, did you get that? Yeah, it's great. Look at that face shot.
Wow. Wait, there was more than cardboard to that.
Hey, Phil, this has you gotta turn this into some sort of like meme or like GIF or something like that of, slow-mo getting hit in the face. That's great.
Yeah, that is definitely classic. All right, the next one comes from our Patreon teammate, Garrett. I call this Might Need a Mulligan. And this some guys on their golf cart on a golf course, and there's a tornado basically right behind them, chasing them. Like, literally.
I'm sure they're drinking a beer, too. Like, how much you want to bet?
That's just, 200-300 yards away on the golf course, tornado right behind them, and they're trying to run away on a golf cart.
Like, the other thing here, guys, is you're on a golf course. Obviously, there's a thunderstorm involved here. And, I mean, I think more people get killed in lightning storms on golf courses than anywhere else.
Golfers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good point. All right, next one comes from our Freak Fan page. I call this Scaring the Crap Out of Adalia. And this person, Tara, says, everybody at this Home Depot is getting hurricane supplies, except this one woman is buying the 12-foot skeleton.
Oh, my God. That's awesome.
Everybody's battening down the hatches, but someone else is like, "Oh, did you see that skeleton? That'll look great in our front yard."
Her sister's at the wine store too. At least if she's at Home Depot, she can go through the line and get some combos and some stuff.
That is hilarious.
That's pretty
All
good.
Right, next one back, our Patreon teammate Garrett. I don't think the heavy stuff is going to come down for quite a while. Some more golfers, some gophers.
Okay, so this reminds me of Caddyshack, that the episode or the scene where the priest is having the round of his life, and it's like a torrential rainstorm, thunderstorm, and he's like, "I'm not leaving the course."
I don't think the heavy stuff's going to come down for quite a while. I think we're good. And they're just torrential, sideways rain, all that good stuff. All right, last one I got is our Patreon teammate Steve. I call this "I Need a Sub." And this is a typhoon in the Philippines, and this is like a rec center. They're playing basketball, and the ceiling just collapses.
Oh,
jeez!
I mean, it really didn't look like anybody got hurt there.
No, and then they show another clip, same thing in the weight room section, and there's some debris falling, but people are running. But yeah, I mean, it looked like. Fortunately, no one got hurt.
I love that one woman is making sure she grabs her towel before she gets out.
I was thinking that, like, let it go.
Right.
It's just a towel. It's not like it's your wallet.
So it's I just think it's a typhoon, but you got to get the game in. It's like, hey,
right.
I got to get my workout in. I'll take shelter.
It's a league championship, Phil. After all,
that's awesome.
Dina, what do you got for us? What kind of weather fool do you have?
This one is during Hillary, And you've always got that guy in the SUV.
Oh, yeah. I think we saw this last week.
Oh, man. All
we showed
over
this
the highway,
last week.
hydroplaning, you know.
That's
and
crazy.
A lot of times this is in the snow with these SUVs. You know, they go past you really fast, like nothing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and they hit the cars. I mean, they're hydroplaning all over this road. Like, slow the hell down.
So one of the things I was talking about on this, Dean, is like, I'm always at that point to where, is this good? Is this not good? The person that decides to take their camera and go, hey, this is the spot where everybody always slides or gets in an accident, to just film it. And I'm like, you know, the morality of that is it, you know,
no, it's awesome,
right on
Phil.
The line. It's
don't question it, Phil. It's amazing. We love it.
But we got a good weather fool out of it.
You bet. So listen. This is episode 191. We're on the countdown to 200. And you can check out all of those weather fools and more in the show notes for show 191 of the Stormfront Freaks.
All right, it's time for the Weather Trollbot 5000. And this is kind of where we find people who've been getting dragged online, and Phil found this great robot in a garage sale with great artificial intelligence. And what happens is when we find somebody screwing with one of our friends, we give it to the Weather Trollbot, because most of our friends are more professional, and even if they're getting dragged, they say something kind of nice in return. Or is that really what they're thinking? Well, Weather Trollbot's going to tell us the truth. So
it's an interpreter, isn't it, Dean?
It is. It's a mind reader, actually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's good, and so we've, as you know, we've been playing around with a little AI, and so we keep doing some new patches on Weather Trollbot, and so I added a new patch this time around. Are you any of you fans of Iron Man?
Oh, yes.
And Jarvis?
Yes.
So we've got a Jarvis patch on Weather Trollbot 5000 today, so we're going to see how that works out. But I'm going to go to our first weather friend, Katie Nicolau, I think is how you pronounce her last name. But Katie's a meteorologist up at CBS in Lansing, Michigan. And so here was the challenge. So she posted this talking about, she said, she's talking about she had a ponytail on air. And this guy, Mark O'Brien. So, you know, for Trollbot,
throw him under the bus.
Throw him under the bus.
Let's annihilate him.
So Mark O'Brien says, good to grab onto when you're getting railed from the back.
Oh, wow.
Come on.
Like who even types that?
Yeah.
Like anyway. So here's what Katie said, right? So Dina, you talked about, and Greg, our friends are always professional, and they respond professional. And Katie said, "Don't be Mark. I posted a forecast with my hair in a ponytail today, and Mark here decided that was the best comment he could make. I hate incels like him." All right.
I mean, listen, I would expect nothing less from her than that, right?
Exactly. But you guys know, everybody's, we're all people, right? We all deal with emotions, we all have things. And so if you're seeing, hey, good to grab onto kind of BS, you know that's not what she was really thinking when she first read that. So here's what we do, as Dina said, with Weather Trollbot. We're going to go ahead and type it in to Weather Trollbot. And then she's going to compute what Katie was apparently really thinking.
Here is what Katie was really thinking. What a fuckface. Someone needs to tie this shit stick's nut bag into a ponytail and rail on that motherfucker with a hammer.
Oh, that's awesome. And in Jarvis's voice, it's even better.
Oh,
that's great.
Man.
I'd play that again, because that actually was pretty. Katie was thinking really good there. I'd play that again, but I don't want MJ to have to edit all that.
Because I'm calling him an a-hole through the whole thing. But think, you know, as a woman, though, I'm just going to say this: any guy who's talking like that, he ain't got a girl.
No, he does.
Yeah.
100% that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark O'Brien. There you go.
Yeah,
All right, next
totally.
one. So Kim McDonald. Kim McDonald is with the Weather Network. And she had...
Up in Canada. Up in Canada, yeah.
Your neck
yeah.
of the woods. Yep. I know somebody up in Canada. She said, today is the 7th anniversary of my favorite clapback. And I love it because she spelled it like a Canadian, Favourite, favorite clapback. But so here it is. So Kim McDonald, 7 years ago, posted, when thunder roars, get indoors, #life lessons learned in 5 words. Now, I'm going to ask you two.
That's pretty straightforward.
Is that post, would that even warrant probably any kind of troll?
No.
But,
Only an
but
idiot.
Here's KO. KO said, bitch, shut up.
Wow.
After posting when thunder roars.
And listen, she is the sweetest woman on earth. Like,
is she?
Oh yeah, no.
All right,
Unreal.
so we gotta type this bad boy in and see what we got.
Here is what Kim was really thinking. Wow, I said things more likely to get a pit to dick comment like this. Didn't expect it here. Fuck off, Carl.
So Kim, that actually wasn't too bad. So Kim must be pretty nice that even her Trollbot thoughts were not too bad. Not too bad. Pity dick comment. That was pretty good.
Pity dick.
That's a good one.
All right, so I'll say this: if any of you out there listening, watching, you guys see any trolls, any of our weather friends, hearing some stupid comments from trolls, let us know, and we'll in future episodes see what Weather Trollbot has to think.
Send me a postcard, drop me a line.
You've got mail, baby, yeah.
All right, we're going to check out our Freak fan box this week. We got a couple. We've got Hunter on Twitter said it wouldn't be a proper road trip without listening to @Stormfront Freak and @Chaser Chat. So thank you, Hunter.
Thanks, man.
Listening to us on your road trip. Actually, I think he was heading down to Adalia. He was chasing Adalia. All right, we also have UK Forecasters on Twitter. This was regarding episode 190 with Adeline and Beckett. If you guys recall that show. Said, I just finished watching the stream and it was very good. So we'll get a very good. We'll take very good.
I'll take a very good any day.
Yeah. Definitely.
You guys know I've been married twice, right?
All right, next one. The Texas Storm Boy on Twitter said, @Stormfront Freak, what an awesome podcast with Adeline Spears and More Weather Official. I hope you plan on bringing them back on another time. So we did get a lot of great comments on that episode.
It was a fun show. It was a great show, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, so we'll have to get them back. I mean, here's the thing. This could be a long-running thing if those two stay in the weather industry, as long as I think they will. We'll have them back on all the paths of their weather trip.
Dina, it seems like maybe Phil's setting us up here a little bit. The writing might be on the wall. Maybe they're after our jobs over here.
Uh-oh. Try to take it.
Go ahead. All right, so you go ahead and mention us in your next post. You might see it on our next episode as well. And I think that just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks Live. So thanks for tuning in. Before we announce the next guest of our next episode, do us a favor. And really, if you enjoy the show, hit that follow or subscribe button on YouTube or your podcast player. And you can really help us get discovered if you just word of mouth. If there's an episode you really like that you're listening to or watching, just share that. Hit the share button. Share it on your social media. Let us know too what you liked about the show. Might also give us something that we can share on the next episode. But let's find out how we can follow our freaks. Dean, I'm going to start with you. Where can people find you and your stuff?
I am Lady Pilot 70 on X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and Threads.
Are you making that transition? Are you calling it X, or are you still adding the Twitter part?
I just did it now, and it was painful.
Yeah.
I still say Twitter.
I started a couple episodes ago throwing in X, and I don't know.
I'm like,
I
whatever.
might be done saying that. But
well,
Greg, how about you?
Whatever you're going to call it, it still sucks. But I'm on it, and I'm Tornado Greg on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. And if you want to learn how to use your camera, I have a great website called cameraeasy.ca, and I teach people how to use their fancy digital or mirrorless camera.
Yeah, and you can do that on your own schedule too, which is kind of cool about that. Do it on your own time. And go back to it, which is awesome. You can find me. I'm usually at Stormfront Freak on Twitter. That's usually where I do most of my posts. I do want to say special thanks to our guest tonight, Richard Gross. That was a lot of fun learning about the museum and all that cool stuff. I'm looking forward to what happens with them here as the sequel comes out as well. But our next episode, gang, we're going to address the mental health challenges that come with working in the weather industry or being a storm victim. Former behavioral health and wellness officer for the National Weather Service, Valerie Gardner, is going to be joining us to kind of talk about that. And I think there's going to be a lot of good information we'll get from her there. Stormfront Freaks are going to be live Thursday, September 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central on YouTube. And, of course, the audio podcast will be available that weekend. So for Greg and for Dina, and MJ's in the background, and Angela's back there as well, I'm going to signal the all clear, and we'll catch you next time. So good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you for tuning in to the Stormfront Freaks podcast. You can watch our bi-weekly show live on youtube.com/StormfrontFreaks and download the audio version on your favorite podcast player. For links to our Patreon team of exclusive benefits, show notes, past shows, new videos, merchandise, and more, visit our website at stormfrontfreaks.com. While you're there, check out our interactive chaser radar from our friends at zoomradar.com. If you'd like to contact us with questions or make comments about the show, shoot us an email to questions@stormfrontfreaks.com or follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. Search for Stormfront Freaks. We'd love to hear from you. Join us next time and tell a friend about the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Yeah, we got MJ. We got to update that. Because we're talking about what's
yeah, I suppose we do.
What's the podcast one that's gone now too?
Oh, is there one of those that's gone?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, which one now? Which one was it?
Like did one get bought or something? Like
no,
merged?
it's out. It's done. It's
Stitcher?
Yeah, that might be it.
Is it Stitcher?
Yeah, I think it's Stitcher.
Really?
Is gone. Yeah.
Interesting.
Sounds right. So,
was it? Did I actually hear somebody voice over an X?
Yeah, he did. Phil did.
I unmuted myself because I thought that'd be kind of funny. I was gonna do that and like on the video itself, kind of slap an X over Twitter, and then do a voice over X like really fast because MJ goes through it through it so fast, and I tried to time it, but I didn't realize Twitter was the first one. So Twitter X.
That is funny. So MJ, there was no gap in that video.
No,
yes,
I caught it.
We were
that
both
time.
making.
I know.
Faces
I saw you too. I could see it. Apparently, I caught it that time without getting the gap because next time you won't be doing it. There won't be one.
Disappointed.
I was too. Because Greg, I thought that was a great idea, and I think we should do that just in case. We don't get it. MJ doesn't get it. Like have everybody flash a quick face or something when it comes on. That would be good.
That's funny.
So you guys are. I'm still waiting on hearing from Brady and Maz for Mount Washington.
That sounds like so much damn fun.
It does sound fun.
Yeah, that would be a highlight for sure. Great way to start the year,
especially in January. That'll be the closest I ever get to Antarctica.
How much shit are we gonna have to bring though? I'm like,
I know
my God.
Like that was.
What do you have to bring?
Well, like sleeping bags, pillows, all your winter gear.
Yeah, but it's not like you're hiking up the mountain.
plus audio
Right.
stuff. We're gonna have to bring audio stuff,
mean,
and MJ can't make it, so
I
gotta. Yeah,
I'm definitely coming. But that's like how the one thing too is like I'm gonna have to have probably a big suitcase, which I never take, but just to fit some more stuff in it and more gear. But then, because even Serena said she had, I think, a Suburban or something and could drive us up there. But are we gonna fit all of our crap in there
Your
too?
gear. That's the
no,
problem,
she's not gonna drive us up there. She'll just drive us to the base because it's gonna be a snowcat that takes us up.
Mm-hmm.
But they made it so when we were talking to them, they made it sound like, they were talking how many people, and then they were asking about, equipment, because of course they're probably used to a bunch of media people with big cameras and camera equipment, all that stuff. So I think our suitcases and
not going to be a big deal.
Is not going to be a big deal to them to do that. But I was thinking, God, going to the airport with all that crap and
with all that shit, I'm gonna have to check bags.
It's like we're going camping.
I want to go.
Yeah.
Do you ever get out to the east out to the East Coast, Angela?
Yeah, I try to stay out of like New York and the far northeast, but I go to like out to Pennsylvania.
Oh, really?
Stuff like that. New Jersey.
I even lived in New Hampshire for 5 years. Never got up
did
there.
you? I don't think I knew that. Okay.
Yeah. When I worked for WSI, which is still
Okay.
part of the weather company,
Yeah.
that was out of, at the time, Billerica, Mass. And I lived in Nashville, which was right over the border.
Huh.
So I did ski a lot. But
Yeah. So is this something where you, and that was one of the things too I'm kind of excited about it, but I'm also like, okay, so are there things we can do? Cause you're really out in the middle of nowhere. Are there things to do? Cause it's going to be a quick up, spend the night, and then, and then we're coming down. It's going to be a quick turnaround. So, we might, if you guys want to stick around through the weekend or something, maybe figure out.
Well, just so you know, Mount Washington is as close to Montreal as it is to Boston.
Really?
Yeah, it's literally right in between. So, yeah, maybe you guys want to get some poutine. Maybe you want to go to see some strippers in Montreal.
I do. Yeah, let's see them.
Yeah, I that's what Montreal's famous
I wouldn't mind skiing if we could.
I missed that when I went to Montreal. Huh.
That's
The way it sounds, how could you miss it? It
Yeah, I
sounds
know.
like
It just sounds like it's everywhere.
it's like there's a strip joint in a church on every corner, right?
There's some good decent skiing up there. Mount Sunapee is the one I used to go to all the time, and
I'm 53.
I'm not a big skier. No,
you're not.
no. I would probably
52.
snowboard before I.
I don't
ski, but
mind
haven't done
skiing.
that.
I just don't want to break anything.
Just go down the green slopes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I
Sunapee
wanna
is
do that
pretty
in
nice
January.
though because it's really wide, and they're pretty decent, easy type. You have
Have
harder
fun.
ones, but
Enjoy yourself. You can do it. That's fine.
I'm trying to get one of you guys to go.
Strippers or skiing?
No, who's stripping? That's the question.
Me, MJ, and Phil.
Oh, is that how classy it is in Montreal?
I'm sure you guys might start doing it in Mount Washington if we get enough alcohol in you.
I think I
Can we
saw that
drink
there
up
was
there?
a reboot of the movie, or it's a TV series, The Full Monty.
Oh, I remember the movie.
I think it's a TV, like a Netflix thing or whatever, like a series. The Full
No, I
Monty.
think there might have, but I did see the movie. Wasn't it in Ireland or something?
Yeah,
It's
something
pretty
like
funny.
that. Yeah.
Montreal, wasn't it Montreal?
That's
Yeah.
what I think of when I think of Montreal strippers.
Well, I guess we're not going to be
I'm
sponsored by
going to
tourism.
now.
Tourism Montreal.
Oh, jeez.
Angela,
Hi.
we cut you off somewhere in there. You were saying something.
Oh, I was gonna say, if you can drink up there, it would be a good place to do like a movie commentary.
Oh,
Oh,
That would be fun.
yeah.
Well, they
we
have
could-
internet. We can, bring
Well,
an iPad or something.
So we'll definitely have people to interview up there. But I have, as I mentioned, been in talks with Janice Dean. So my goal was I'm like, she's been on the show like 3 times. I thought, that'd be cool to bring her back. but it might entice her if she can come up and also do stuff for Fox Weather. And she pitched it, and they were interested. So I've yet to kind of work out potentially any details and verify if they really want to come, but that's potential. And so that would give us another guest to talk to, but we might be able to do lots of material, record lots of different material while we're up there that we can
one of us
use
has
later.
to get all the gear on and go outside and record that.
Oh, we're all doing that, aren't we?
Yeah.
I would
and then
hope
come
so,
back
yeah.
in
I still really want to
with
go.
bicycles on, monocles.
Yeah.
This is coming from a person who absolutely hates the cold. So
Well, I would agree with you, Angela. I'm not a big cold person either. So, but it's just one of those things where, okay, if you're going to do it, just go balls out and do it at Mount Washington.
In fact,
Yeah.
I would say no on that one, Phil. I think they would. I think they would.
And then you go out and then you come back in.
Yeah, if you read, if you've ever read about the South Pole Station, they do the 300 Club. When it gets to 100 below, they get in the sauna and crank it up to 200. Then they go out and they run around naked around the South Pole. Yeah.
Well,
and then they come back in, and the guy says it sounds like a tuberculosis ward.
That's not healthy. Not healthy.
I've always wanted to go to Antarctica too, and one of the ladies I work with, her son was just there for like 3 months.
What?
And just got back. I'm like,
yeah.
But he wasn't allowed at the time to like send social media posts and stuff like that. So like I had to hear it from her. It just sounded really cool.
Was it
because
military?
they had no Wi-Fi? Is that right?
No, I don't think it was military. I think it was something with college. But I know I wanted to go down there. Ohio State's got a research center down there, but you had to be like a master's or a PhD student, and you had to have money.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I had neither.
I agree, Garrett.
Leave the balls in.
All right, guys, I got to run.
Right.
Great.
Say goodbye
great
to
show.
the audience. Goodbye, audience.
See you, Angela.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Angela.
Bye, Angela.
Thanks, Garrett. Christine, thanks for